Hey guys, check it out. I finally get to test out a 52-inch 5D light bar. Been wanting to do one of these for a while now. Now, like I said, it is a 52-inch. It's a curved light bar, and it uses the 3-watt Philips LEDs, so it's a 300-watt total light bar, and it uses that cool new 5D lens design. Now, a while back I tested a little 20-incher, and I was really impressed by that thing. I mean, it gives you a really good spot beam that you'd expect from a 4D light bar, but 4D light bars kind of lack on the flood lighting. This gives you a good combination of both flood and spot beam, because it gives you that real good spot beam you'd expect from a spotlight 4D, and also a lot of flood lighting that you'd expect from the regular cone style reflectors. But like I said, it's kind of the best of both worlds, so pretty excited about trying this thing out. Now you might be thinking, this isn't the brand we're used to seeing on your channel. Well, I've told you guys all along that I try to give you a good unbiased review, my actual opinions. People don't buy my opinions. They'll send me a light bar, I check it out, I'll give you my honest opinion on it. So when Autofeel contacted me and asked me about doing a review on their new 5D lenses, I said, sure, I'd be happy to do it. And, like I said, if I like it, I'm going to let you know. If I don't like it, I'll let you know that too. So, no one company owns my opinions. So, like I said, I try to stay unbiased, and if some other brand wants to send me something, I'll be happy to check it out. I'll let you guys know what I think. So let's go ahead and check this thing out. Now, first impressions right out of the box, this thing looks really good. Looks like a really well-made light. I really like it. It's got the military style breather I like in it. And it looks like a really nice housing. Looks like a good quality light. So first impressions look really good. Now, a few things different from this light bar than some of the other light bars I've checked out. First of all, look at this. Comes with a connector made onto the wiring harness. Now that could have some pros and it could have some cons too. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But the other difference is, a lot of you guys ask me in the comments, what about those harnesses that come with the light bars? Now, most of the light bars I check out don't come with harnesses, and I've always said I'm not really a big fan of those harnesses because they don't use a heavy enough gauge wire. But this light bar comes with a harness, so today we're going to be testing out one of these plug and play harnesses too. Let's go ahead and take a look at this thing. Like I said, this comes with this Autofeel light bar. Comes with your on-off switch. Comes with the relay. It's a real simple hookup. You'll have your ground and your positive. It's going to hook right to your battery if you want it to be powered up all the time. And then you've got your other end of the plug. Plug those two together. There you go. Your wiring's done. Mount your button up on your dash somewhere, and you're all wired in, ready to go. So we're going to go ahead and test this harness out too. Like I said, I've never been a big fan of them. I usually make my own harnesses just because, these wires are kind of thin for my taste, but maybe I'm just picky. I don't know. Maybe I just overdo things. I know I am guilty of, overdoing stuff. So we're going to go ahead and test this out, see how it works. I mean, it's definitely easy. I guess another disadvantage to this would be if you're going to mount this on your roof and you want to drill a small hole through your cab, run this down through the cab, and wire it up. This connector doesn't come off. It's molded onto the end of the wiring harness. So you can't really do that, and you don't really want to, drill a hole that big through the top of your cab. That'd be really hard to seal up. So, I guess that could be a disadvantage of this style connector, but, we'll go ahead and try it out, see how it works. Now for the mounting hardware, just uses your standard mounting hardware that you're going to find on pretty much every one of these light bars. Nothing really different there about any of the others. Simple, basic, works good. There you go, you got those. And it comes with some, your bolts, Allen wrenches, little rubber isolators to go under your mounting hardware for vibration, things like that. But, I'll go ahead and give you guys a closer look at this thing. Alright, let's take a closer look at this bad boy. Now, like I said, this is an Autofeel light bar. Now, if you've been around Amazon, you've been shopping for light bars, I'm sure you've seen Autofeel on there. Pretty big brand. And like I said, it looks, first impressions, looks like a really good quality light bar. So, I think we're going to really like this thing. And as I pointed out before, it's got that military style breather. I really like that. When this light bar heats up, it's going to build up hot air in there. And this gives that pressure a place to escape. And then when it cools down, you don't end up getting condensation behind your light bar. And every light bar I've had with that on there, haven't had any problems with condensation. So it seems to be a really good feature. Yeah, it looks like a really good, quality light bar. Now, if you didn't see my video where I showed you how these 5D lenses work, hopefully I can get my camera to focus here, but the way it works is you've actually got a 4D fisheye style lens perched right there in the center of a regular cone style reflector. You see those 4 little tabs there, there, and there. It's actually suspending that little 4D lens right in the middle of that regular reflector housing. It's pretty cool. You get the good spot from that fisheye lens, plus all the light that escapes around that cone reflector gives you a lot of flood lighting. So it's a real good best of both worlds scenario, I think. You can see the difference in your flood lenses down here. Same setup, you just got the serrated style lenses in the middle to disperse the light better, but so yeah, it looks like a good quality housing. You know, really nice looking light. And I showed you this connector, and it does have a waterproof seal in there, so that gives you a good waterproof connector on there. Keep all your moisture out. You don't have to worry about your terminals getting corroded, things like that. You know, it looks like a really nice light, and it does have something that most light bars don't. You got your regular mounting location here, and it's also got a tapped area back here where you could put an additional bracket, or you know, if you're using custom brackets, you could put 2 bolts in it, so you really don't have to worry about this thing moving around on you. And, you know, that's pretty cool. So, and you got this little, it's kind of hard to get my camera to focus, it's dark over here, but you can see where the wires go in. Got that nice stainless steel nut on there. Looks like it's sealed up real well. So, got plenty of cooling fins, just like the good ones do. Now, I've seen some pretty cheap housings that I've gotten off of eBay. Really disappointed with them. You know, they had, you know, crappy housings. The wires just kind of stuck in the back side of them. Didn't have many cooling fins. And, you know, so I can kind of tell the difference between, you know, a good housing and a cheap, junky housing. And, you know, this definitely looks like a good quality housing. So I think we're going to like this thing. Just can't wait for it to get dark so we can try it out. One other thing I almost forgot to mention. They did tell me they were going to be giving me some promo codes for these things. So, you know, within a day or two, they should give me the codes, and I'll put those in the description below. So go ahead and come back in a day or two, check the description. There should be some promo codes in there for you guys. Get you some discounts. Alright, let's take a look at this plug-and-play harness that comes with this thing. Now, like I said, I always make my own harnesses just because, you know, for a light bar this size, you know, a 300-watt light bar, that's quite a bit of power. I'd really rather see 12-gauge wire here, you know, from the battery, and from the relay to the light bar, you know, I'd really rather see a 12-gauge wire just because, you know, that's quite a bit of power, and that bigger wire can handle the power better. But, you know, like I said, the switch side, no problem. You can use small wire there. That doesn't really matter because you're just controlling a relay. But the actual main side, I like to see at least a 12-gauge, but, you know, maybe that's just me overdoing things, or, you know, I like to go big or go home, I guess, you know, as they say. But I don't know, a lot of people use these harnesses, and a lot of people really like them. So, I mean, hey, obviously they work. So, and once I show you how easy it is to install this harness, you're going to understand why a lot of people like them. I mean, it doesn't get much easier. You know, you've got your power wire, going to go right to the positive side of the battery. You got your ground, goes right to the ground of the battery. Got an inline fuse, all ready to go. You got your relay, a nice little mounting tab on it. You know, screw that onto your fender well or somewhere near the battery. Mount that up, and you know, run your wires down. Gives you quite a bit of wire. Plugs right into the light bar. No wiring to do there. You're just ready to go. And then you take your switch, got quite a bit of length on this wire too. You run this into the cab of your truck, car, what have you. Got some double stick tape. You know, stick that right on your dash. Bam. Done deal. Like I said, it doesn't get any easier than that. So, now those of you that have been around my channel for a while, you probably remember this test rack I built in the back old red here for my 50-inch light bar showdown. Now I went ahead and mounted up that Autofeel 52-incher on this little test rack here so we can go test it out when it gets dark. And if everything goes well and I like it as much as I think I'm gonna go ahead and mount this thing permanently on the front up by the windshield on the old red here, and just go ahead and leave it there because, like I said, I got a feeling I'm gonna really like this light bar. So, alright, ready to go for a ride and check this thing out. There we go. There's that big old light bar. Oh, by the way, that's my stock headlights on the truck. And there's that big old 52-inch 5D light bar. Man, that thing is pretty bright. And you can see that big wide spot beam right there in the center of the trees. What you don't see as well on the camera is the all the flood lighting, but that definitely lights up the area pretty good. So now I know I've said dozens of times that the camera just doesn't do these light bars justice. I mean, you can see that awesome spot beam, but it's really hard to see how much flood lighting you really get. I mean, look at those wires up there. Power wires are all lit up. But here's a pretty good example of how much floodlighting you get. This is looking straight out my windshield. And here we are out the side window of my car. And you see my my Continental and my Aviator there. Shut that light bar off. They're gone pretty much. And look at that. That's all the way to the side of my vehicle. That's how much floodlighting you get from that thing. That's pretty cool. You see my little Honda back there over on the side. That's a lot of floodlighting for a spot beam light bar. You know, for a light bar to have that much spot beam and still have that much floodlighting, hey, that's pretty cool. I like that. All right, so obviously that's my my nice dim headlights, and there's that big old 52-incher. That does a really good job. Sorry the camera's kind of shaky. This truck ride's kind of rough, but man, that thing is really bright. Just like I hoped it'd be. So that works out just like I hoped it would. I mean, we get a ton of spotlight, and we also get a lot of floodlighting too. Those 5D lenses are, I really like them. They do a really good job. Got a random Amish guy walking down the street here. Don't want to blind him. There we go, lights back on. That is a lot of light. Well, I think I went ahead and made up my mind. I think this thing's going to end up permanently mounted on old Red here. That thing really does a good job. I really like it. I've been wanting one of these 5D light bars for quite a while now, and this one definitely... Oh wow, that was a big bump. This thing definitely does a good job, so I think it's going to end up permanently mounted on old Red. Now I'll tell you what, looking at the quality of this light bar, looks really good. Looking at how bright it is, you can tell that thing is definitely bright. So, you know, for my very first Autofeel light bar, I'm really happy with it. I'm impressed. I'd definitely check out another one of these things, and I definitely wouldn't have any problem buying one for my truck, my car, whatever. You know, it's a really good looking light bar. I think I've seen all I need to see. I need to get this thing home and get some light bar brackets built for it. This light bar is going on old Red, and it's going to stay there. Now, like I said at the beginning of the video, you know, I'll check out anybody's light bars. I don't care who makes them. You know, if I like it, I'll let you guys know I like it. If I don't like it, I'll let you know that too. And I'll tell you what, I really like this 5D light bar by Autofeel. It's definitely going to get mounted up on old Red here, and I think I'm going to be really happy with it. And I'll tell you, you know, I've never liked these plug and play harnesses just because I've always liked bigger wires, but you know, this is the easiest light bar I've ever wired up. So, and I mean, you can see how bright that thing is. So obviously those wires are heavy duty enough to power up this light bar. So I don't know, I might start using these plug and play wire harnesses from now on. So yeah, I definitely recommend this thing. I'll go ahead and put a link in the description where you can check this thing out on Amazon. Thanks for watching, guys.